A monster week in the SEC. Georgia, Auburn, Bama, Mizzou, Oklahoma, Texas. Any upsets brewing? It is time to get the squad together.
You're talking ball with the SEC squad. From Alabama to Tennessee, from Georgia to Oklahoma, from Auburn to Texas, it's the local experts of the Locked On Podcast Network bringing you scoops, breakdowns, and the most comprehensive preview of the upcoming SEC weekend. It's the SEC squad, and we have a seat for you. Hurt feelings and thin skin are prohibited. Squad up, you're part of the SEC squad.
And welcome into the SEC squad. Sit back, grab your favorite beverage, and join us as we get you ready for another week talking all things SEC. Today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Download the FanDuel app today. Let's welcome in our panel, a full house this week, as we welcome in Jay Smith from Locked On Sooners, Zach Blackerby, Locked On Auburn, Stephen Willis, Locked On Ole Miss, Corey Burton, Locked On Vandy, Eric Kane making an appearance, Locked On Vols, John Neighbors from Locked On Razorbacks, and Jimmy Stein, Locked On Bama. Gents, as we do every week, tradition, first segment, we'll go around the horn. Give us a prediction for your team this week, something you think is going to happen with your team. Jay Smith, we'll start with you.
John Mateer starts. And John Mateer throws for 250 yards.
Very interesting. That's the talk of the week this week. We'll get to that in a second. Zach Blackerby, a prediction for the Auburn Tigers.
We score multiple offensive touchdowns this week.
That would be a massive improvement. And
would double it. Yeah.
Stephen Willis, a prediction for the Ole Miss Rebels.
Keywan Lacey runs for 150 and 3 touchdowns against Washington State.
Yeah, such a weird game to be playing at this point.
Well, it's only because Wake Forest chickened out is the reason they're playing this game.
Corey Burton, still licking your wounds. Vanderbilt off that loss. Give me a prediction.
Well, they're in a bye week, so they'll be watching plenty of football this weekend. So there you go.
Eric Kane, Vols back in action. Give me a prediction.
Yeah, I think this game will be decided in regulation for the first time in conference play. Tennessee, 2 conference games, 2 overtime games. So I think Tennessee will win a conference game in regulation this week.
Playing with fire there. How about John Neighbors, the start of the Bobby Petrino era 2.0?
I'm sure it'll go exactly according to plan like everybody expects it to, and it won't be harmful or give any Razorback fans hope. In fact, that's what I think is going to happen is just like every other game. You're going to give hope. You're going to play well. But it's not going to matter. Still going to lose in the end, and still going to be in turmoil as far as if Bobby's the guy or not.
Gosh, it's like a dark cloud over your head when you talk about Arkansas.
You Neighbors, man.
You blame me?
I had people reach out to me, John, and say, man, John sounded really upbeat and really excited compared to how he sounds on the squad show when we did our crossover this week. I'm like, I think he's just excited for change. But here you go, Debbie Downer here on the squad show.
I think it's Gordy. I think Gordy puts him in a bad mood.
I think all of you put me in a bad mood.
I thought you loved me, Neighbors. I thought we had a thing.
Jimmy Stein, got a Bama prediction for this week?
I think win or lose, Ty Simpson over 300 yards against Missouri, who's pretty good against the run, but has been susceptible in the pass game. Another big day for Ty Simpson.
Yeah, I was doing some deep diving into numbers, and I was surprised how close Ty Simpson and Joey Aguilar are in a lot of passing statistics. Aguilar's got more interceptions, but very comparable numbers. So we'll see if both those guys can keep it rolling.
Good. Ty Simpson's a pretty good quarterback, we'll say.
As we dive into discussing some of the games, guys, it is Red Rivalry week, and I want to kind of start there because, as Jay mentioned, all eyes on John Mateer. Is he going to go? I'll admit, guys, this was a Big 12 rivalry for so long. I like this as an SEC rivalry because Texas fans are talking smack. Oklahoma fans are talking smack. I'm excited for this one. Jay, what's the vibe right now?
I mean, the vibe is we saw what happened against Florida last week for Texas. That the one thing that they struggled the most at is that they could not stop the defensive line from getting into the backfield. And since we have arguably one of the best defensive lines in the country, that's going to continue being a problem for them. And so in our mindset, and most of the fans' thought process is they just want to see how Arch Manning handles the pressure that we know Brent Venables is going to dial up. Coming into this season, when we talked about the Bryce Underwood game, Brent Venables is really good against first-time quarterbacks. Then you talked about going up against Auburn, his former quarterback. You knew he was going to dial up the pressure and do exotic things there. So now we've got this one with Arch. The expectation is this defense is going to once again lead the way. Now, as I mentioned before, I expect John Mateer to play. Shout out to the Tortilla Presser who gave us the tip last week that he said he was going to play. For the uninitiated, you have to go look up what that means. I'm not going to go ahead and tell that story for a 15th time, but I do anticipate that our defense is going to be what carries us regardless of which quarterback plays, and I'm ready to see if Arch Manning has a better game than he's had his career so far.
Hey, Arch didn't play bad against Florida. Arch had
I thought he made some throws.
Yeah.
He didn't make some throws. He will throw the ball.
That game was not on Arch Manning. That was on the fact that Texas's offensive line was a joke.
The offensive line's really bad.
Yeah.
O-line against Oklahoma's defensive front.
Yeah.
Let's see how that goes. That will not be fun for Arch. I'm calling that right now.
I mean, I was told by Texas fans that their offensive line was going to be just fine, even though they lost 4 guys to the NFL. And I tried to promptly let them know those guys don't have that very many snaps together. It's going to take some time for them to get it rolling. And they said, no, we'll be great. We're Texas. We got this.
Just fine does not look too hot right now. It's
Exactly.
On the roundtable on Sunday, I did say that I called Texas being on 8-4 watch for the whole offseason. And unfortunately, I was pumping sunshine because there's no way they're getting 8 wins.
Wow. Dang.
Oh,
Pick them while they're down, Steve.
yeah.
I'll say this too. Trey Wisner, apparently, when he scored that touchdown late, what do you have, like 8 carries for 11 yards or something like that? But he, at the end, they said he grabbed his hamstring, and so he's a little bit banged up. And it's like that was supposed to be Texas's bread and butter. We didn't know what Arch was going to be, but we knew Texas, they're going to run the crap out of the football. They have not consistently run the football well, and they've been banged up. C.J. Baxter, Trey Wisner, it's just been a mess. So what's the vibe from the rest of the panel in this game?
Gordy's already said it, but I'm impressed by how quickly this feels like an SEC football game. I mean, they're new to the league, and all of a sudden this feels like one of the SEC's oldest and best rivalries. That's what this feels like, and I think it's such a great addition to the league that this game counts as part of the SEC inventory. And the Oklahoma we've seen so far, and the Texas team we've seen so far, Oklahoma's clearly better. So I think I like Texas to win.
Yeah,
a long-standing member of the conference. I appreciate finally feeling accepted. Thank you.
I mean, it almost feels like that long-standing Ole Miss Oklahoma rivalry. I mean, it almost that feel to it. It's so classic.
We've been lifelong rivals for like 3 weeks now.
Yeah,
Minimum.
Great, man, and hopefully Texas Oklahoma will live up to that rivalry. But no, I'm interested to see John Mateer, how his hand responds, because that's a tough thing to come back from so early. So how does his hand respond? How does the play calling go around his hand, and how do they protect him? You know, what does it look like for Oklahoma? Because it's not an easy defense. Texas defense is not an easy defense to try out. Just got surgery to the hand. It's not.
Go ahead, Eric. We're losing Corey's going underwater.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I mean, I was just going to say, Jay, I know you expressed confidence that he's going to play, but I mean, again, this was the thumb on his throwing hand, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. It was his right one. It's like at the bottom. What I've been told is it's more about can he grip a ball well? And that's really the biggest question. It's pain management. So,
and I know Venables said he hadn't done any good on good. This was Monday, I believe. So I mean, maybe that changed.
No, it was today. Yeah, Monday was the practice. So it was today. He did it this morning.
Jay, this show comes out later in the week.
Yeah, my bad.
But nonetheless, I mean, gripping the football is a big deal. So even if he plays, I mean, I was kind of hoping that. Gosh, man, Oklahoma and Tennessee played November the 1st. I was hoping maybe that'd be his first game back, and we'd be talking about this conversation of can he grip a football? What's he going to look like? But I agree with Corey. That's going to be a huge part of the football game in terms of how you're going to call it if he's in there. But back to what you said earlier, Jay, about defensive pressure, all the external factors outside of the quarterback position in this game, it just screams Oklahoma. I've been really impressed with Oklahoma so far this year. I like Oklahoma in this game, though I do think, I'll go back to that Florida game. I think Arch obviously has not lived up to all the preseason hype. He was never going to because it was ridiculous for a guy that's never played, big-time football before, outside of a couple, of plays last year. But I thought he made some big time throws against Florida. I thought the escapability, taking what the defense gave him at times when the pocket collapsed. I thought he grew up a little bit against Florida. Will that be enough to win a game like this? I don't think so, but it was good to see.
FanDuel still likes Texas
in
this one. So the line is still sitting there. Let me ask you guys this. If it is Michael Hawkins and we don't see John Mateer at all, do you still like Oklahoma?
I do.
Yes. Yeah.
I do as well.
I don't even like him if Mateer does
Yeah.
play. I'm telling you, Texas is going to win this game, and they're going to win it probably by 2 touchdowns. Because this is the type of game, more often than not, that always has whatever team is stinky, they go into this game and they lose. And they end up winning. The stinky team wins. And I feel like that happens in this rivalry game more so than any other one. And I feel like it's going to be the same thing here. Texas is going to wake up, and then everyone's going to be back on Texas and Oklahoma. Everyone's going to be like, this team's no good. They got fraudulent. And then in 2 weeks, it's all going to change because that's what this season's been all about. It's been about nonsensical things like that. And I think that's what's going to happen in this game too.
Speaking about what John just said, I had a group chat with Corey earlier in the week. It's like Oklahoma is about to lose John Mateer for the season because they're trying to rush him back to face Texas in this game.
Yeah.
And that would be my concern, that something happens in that ball game and you throw the playoff out the window to beat Texas, which I play Mississippi State. I understand rivalry, but there seems to be some bigger goals that you can hit this season.
Well,
and that's a fair point. I agree with you on that. I wouldn't want him to come back if they feel like there's a chance for re-injury. I mean, regardless, it's a throwing hand. If you throw and hit somebody's helmet, you're going to, regardless, injured or not, there's always
you fall on the ground wrong where the injury is, like down here. You fall on the ground wrong. It could be trouble.
No, that's very fair. So I totally agree with you on that. I think for him, and even some things that he said, is that Mateer himself, and my apologies, Eric, presser was on Tuesday, so that was my bad. Not Monday, it was Tuesday, was what I was trying to say.
I'll never
not
forgive
today. My bad. But anyway, Mateer said this is one of the reasons why he came to Oklahoma, was to play in this game. So I do hope that if he does play, that it's more of a pain management situation and not a rushing back. And regardless, if he comes back in 2 weeks against Ole Miss, he's still going to be under re-injury watch no matter what.
Well, real quick, guys, as we put a bow on this one, raise your hand. Are you taking Oklahoma to win this one? Raise your hand. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So Jimmy and John rolling with Texas. We will see what happens there. All right, some other big matchups in the SEC this Saturday. Could Bama or Georgia fall on the road? The SEC squad talking more ball next. More with the squad in just a second, but first, when the opening whistle blows on a new repair, get your crew moving forward with SupplyHouse. Order today and see parts on your doorstep tomorrow. Over 280,000 plumbing, HVAC, and electrical items from the most trusted brands in the business. Their real-time inventory and honest lead times keep you from punting projects, while their industry-leading customer service always has your blind side covered. If you need parts fast for a project, SupplyHouse, they have next-day delivery. Talk about a game changer. The part finder tools and 3D schematics can save you hours on jobs where every detail matters, and their Trademaster perks like priority shipping and dedicated support make the whole process smoother. Go join the free Trademaster program today and score some serious perks like priority shipping, lower prices, and a dedicated support line. Visit supplyhouse.com to sign up for free and use promo code SHCollege5. That'll get you 5% off your first order at supplyhouse.com. Real people, real service. This episode also brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. And look, the NFL season, we are in the thick of it. And FanDuel, they've still got the great offer going that you do not want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. You pick a bet, you put down $5. If it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. And so many great ways to use FanDuel. We love taking a look at a lot of the college football betting lines. They got all the big games in the SEC every single week right there. They got the betting line, the money line, whatever it is you want to get in on. They got player props. I mean, it makes watching football even more exciting when you got a little something riding on the action, whether you're a casual fan or you love diving into the stats. FanDuel makes the game day experience so much better. So what are you waiting for? Go visit FanDuel.com right now. Download the FanDuel app. Get started today and get signed up over at FanDuel.com. SEC squad rolling along here. Our buddy John Miller, Locked On Mizzou, hops in at just the right time as we get in 11 a.m. Central on ABC, guys. It is going to be number 8 Alabama at number 14 Mizzou. Alabama fresh off their win at Georgia and then home win against Vandy. And now another top 15 team. This one comes on the road against Mizzou. John and Jimmy, what's the vibe on this one? Because it just feels like, gosh, Alabama, can they keep slaying the dragon? Whereas Mizzou, they've just been sitting pretty at home every week of the season so far.
Well, I'm getting the information from a Cole Kubelik tweet, but only 4 teams in SEC history have defeated 3 ranked conference opponents in 3 consecutive weeks without an open date. So this Alabama team would only be the 5th one to do it. I'm not predicting a loss for Alabama, but I would say that I'd be a little surprised that it's this Alabama team that becomes only the 5th team in the history of the conference to pull off something like that. So I think it's going to be 60 minutes, and I think it's going to be very difficult, but it is tough. 3, not just 3 ranked teams, but 3 emotional wins in a row, or coming off 2 emotional wins to go into an 11 a.m. road game against a Missouri team that's good on both sides of the ball. They're statistically very scary team. So I'm expecting a 60-minute football game.
Yeah, I think it's a tough spot for Alabama, and yet I can't call it a trap game or anything. You look at the rest of the schedule for Bama, if they can get by this road game here in Columbia, really the Tide is sitting pretty with the rest of their schedule because the rest of their tough games are all at Bryant-Denny Stadium. So I think that's a huge advantage there. For me, if I'm looking at Alabama and Missouri just in terms of a matchup, the Tigers obviously haven't played the type of schedule that the Crimson Tide have played so far. But, man, Missouri has really stopped the run consistently. They've also given up some big plays in the past. I think Ty Simpson and Ryan Williams and company they're going to get their numbers. They're going to throw for probably 300 plus. But I just think if Missouri can make Alabama one-dimensional, I think it's going to be interesting. To me, this is a coin flip kind of game.
Anybody else got a read on Alabama at Mizzou? I mean, Jimmy put it out there. It's a lock. Jump on Mizzou. They're going to win this one.
Jimmy, Ahmad Hardy, I really like him as a running back. I mean, he might be one of the best in the conference. Like, what kind of problems does he pose for this Alabama defense?
Well, significant. Alabama had struggled stopping the run. I think the Vandy game was a good illustration of good Alabama and bad Alabama in the first quarter. They gave up 1 million yards rushing to Vanderbilt, but then over the last 3 quarters, hold them to 20 yards. What does that mean against Missouri? Probably not much, because Missouri runs the ball so differently than Vanderbilt. It's a different type of rushing attack, but the production is just crazy. Ahmad Hardy's the guy everybody talks about, of course. Heck, I think even comparisons to a guy like Ashton Genty are fair when it comes to Ahmad Hardy. But the number 2 back, he averages more yards per carry than even the starter Hardy. So Jamal Roberts, I think, has 7.3 yards a carry. This is a powerful team on the ground, and Bo Pribula can beat you, with his arm if you overplay the run. Difficult offense to prepare for. But John brought up the schedule. I think a lot of Missouri, we're going to find out if Missouri's statistics are a little fraudulent based on who they've played. ESPN says schedule's 109th. Alabama's is 3rd so far. No doubt Alabama's more battle tested, but Missouri statistically is a very scary ball club, and it starts with how they run the ball.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. That's why this is a tough one for me to call, and I'm kind of waffling back and forth on it. And really, I think it's a cop-out to call it a coin flip, but I really feel that way. I think if this were in Tuscaloosa, I would certainly favor the Tide, but in Columbia, a place where Missouri hasn't lost since 2023 to Jaden Daniels and LSU, Malik Neighbors, that whole crew, I just think it's a tough place to play, a tough spot for Bama in a game that Missouri's probably been preparing for 3 weeks at this point.
And by the way, Corey, you said Ahmad Hardy, one of the best running backs in the SEC. How about they're coming off a bye week and he still leads the nation in rushing? The nation.
The best running back.
Yeah, that's right now. Yeah. I mean, there you go.
Yeah, just his yards after contact is a good statistic alone. Just that alone would be up there in terms of rushing yards in the conference.
I mean, he'll be back next year.
Yep, 100%.
Lawrence County, Mississippi for the win.
Hell yeah.
Zach, let's real quick, by the way.
Running back Jamal Roberts is so good he won American Idol last year.
There you go. Show your hands real quick. Do you like Mizzou to pull off the upset over Alabama?
I think I do.
Lord
There
help
you
me,
go,
I
John.
think I
Attaboy,
do.
John.
Only 3 of us. Everybody else rolling with Alabama on the road.
You're with the sharp money, baby.
Zach, let's get to your game. 6:30 Central on the plains of Auburn on ABC. It'll be number 10 Georgia at 3-2 Auburn. No Brock Bowers in this one for you, Georgia. But Zach, I've just been building it up. I think Auburn's offense is going to look much better at home. What say you?
I hope so. I mean, they've got the dudes to do it. Sometimes I think it's play calling. Sometimes I think it's been the quarterback wanting to hold on to the football. But I mean, the way I've been talking about this one for 2 weeks now, it's like they could do it, but until they do it, I have a hard time getting there at this point.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I mean, it's been kind of a mess over there at Auburn.
Thanks, Corey.
About. Yeah.
Appreciate that.
I feel like it has been.
Let me phrase this to everybody. More likely to happen. Hugh Freeze on the path to getting fired here the next couple of weeks, or Auburn's offense gets better. Which one's more likely?
Yes. Absolutely yes.
So
No,
I hate to be this guy, but and Hugh Freeze has said this, but I feel like it's more okay if we say it than if the head coach says it. But like Auburn has had his hands full the last 2 outings, and it's been close with 2 top 10 teams. And I mean, it's gonna be tough against Georgia too. But then it's like, okay, like it's gonna get easier. But that easier is you host Missouri, a team that we all just talked about how good they are, and then you go to Arkansas, and then like you get Kentucky, which is great, and then you go to Vandy, and it's like, all right, like we all know the stories of Diego Pavia against Hugh Freeze. So like while it does get easier, it's still not easy. And so like there is a path for Auburn to look better because of the competition, but it's not like there's this major drop off. So there's a path for it for sure. A lot of Auburn fans are in the camp of like, if Auburn like looks terrible against Georgia, they're ready to say, hey, Hugh, pack your bags. I'm not there yet because, I mean, I picked Auburn to lose these 3 games going into the season, and then I picked them to kind of get hot after this game. So like, I'm not in the camp of like, let's burn it all down and start over. Like, that's just not where I'm at. I don't think that's entirely fair, but the offense has been bad. And with all of those weapons, it should get better.
Anybody surprised the line's only 3.5?
Yes, I've done like 5 shows on that. It's fascinating.
I'm not an expert on Auburn clearly, but Tennessee's played Georgia. I feel like I know Georgia pretty well, and that's a pretty good ball club. I know it's a road game. Plain's a difficult place to play, but
at
3.5,
night, Cam Newton night, I guess they're taking.
Yeah, they're retiring Cam Newton's jersey, so that's going to be something. And I mean, we all know Jordan Hare makes weird things happen. On Cam Newton night, I mean, what kind of energy is going to be in there? That's
Does
great.
Deuce Knight have the same jersey number as Cam Newton?
What's up?
No. Deuce Knight doesn't wear the same number as Cam.
No, we made Deuce wear. We said Deuce could not wear his number anymore.
Perfect. Okay. Well, so
will we Kirby see? Hasn't lost games like this. It's an unlike Kirby Smart to lose a game. I mean, not in recent Georgia history have they lost a game like this one.
But is this the weakest Georgia defense he's had in the last 5-6 years?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, I think so. They look lost almost out there.
Yeah. One thing's interesting. This feels like the game that Hugh Freeze has, locked the gates behind. Really shows out. As a person that went through the Hugh Freeze experience at Ole Miss, there was always 1 or 2 games every season to where everything clicked into place. And it feels like that is this game. Georgia's not quite right. Something just doesn't look right about them. Auburn struggled against top 10 teams on the road. Yeah, they didn't get blown out. Now they're coming back home. I'm expecting, honestly, Jackson Arnold and Cam Coleman to hook up at least twice in this game for long touchdowns.
Oh, that'd be incredible.
Even on that.
But you're right, Stephen. I mean, even in his first 2 rosters, which were not as good as this one, I think we all agree that this Auburn roster is better than his first 2. I mean, he went down to it. I mean, Jimmy, obviously the 4th and 31 in his first year. And then Gordy, you mentioned Brock Bowers taking over in the 4th quarter in his first. Like, he's made it close. Like, he doesn't get, like, he keeps it close. And so he's got the dudes. It's just there's no offensive identity. Hopefully they figured some of that out over the bye week.
It feels like the odds makers aren't really sold on Gunnar Stockton being able to win on the road. That's what it kind of feels like where this spread is.
This Auburn defense is good. Like Auburn has a really good defense. If you can
it really is. It is.
And
when you look at the swing as far as the spread goes, it would be 10 possibly if it was in Athens. So this is about right if you don't feel like the quarterback can handle the pressure on the road. And so as good as this Auburn defense is, that may be the reason why the spread is so low, and it could end up being a close game. I think Auburn can squeak it out if they just keep Stockton, busy. To me,
Zach, I feel like Stevens sent you an eggplant emoji with what he was saying about this game. I mean, you were getting very excited there.
What does that mean, Gordy? Can you break that down for me real quick?
Yes.
We didn't bring up
I'll explain
Come on, Gordy.
I'll explain it during the break. Real quick, show of hands. Who's taking Auburn at home? Raise your hand. 2 of us. Or 3? Okay.
Gordy, are you picking Auburn?
Oh, I'm just entertaining the idea.
Georgia wins by 3 and barely misses the cover.
Auburn is going to win this game outright. They are going to win this football game.
We're going to have a lot of upsets this weekend in the SEC.
Man, that'd be incredible.
All right, gents.
Incredible. I will be unsufferable next week if that happens.
Or even
I need it. I need that to be injected in my veins. Then.
Hey, coming up next, we got 3 top 15 SEC teams hosting unranked teams at home. Who is most likely an upset alert? We'll talk about that next. More with the squad in just a second, but first, Mazda crafts cars for those who do more than simply move. Mazda delivers confidence with every ride, with more IIHS top safety pick awards than anyone else. From footwork to breathwork, athletes, they sweat all the details. Mazda, they bring the same intention to how they craft every model. You can feel the Japanese craftsmanship in every detail, from the metallic accents to available Napa leather upholstery. You can make everyday drives feel like anything but, from the smooth handling to the intuitive controls. And with the all-wheel drive standard in every crossover SUV, you're going to drive with confidence through almost any season. Like our players, we sweat every detail, because when you make every move count, impossible becomes irrelevant. Mazda, move and be moved. If you think about getting a new vehicle, check out our friends at Mazda today. This episode also brought to you by our friends over at Quo. One of the tools that help make a huge difference for business owners is Quo, formerly known as Open Phone. It is the same great business phone system you've heard us talk about before, just with a new name. And here's why it matters. Every missed call is money left on the table for your business. When every customer conversation counts, you need a phone system that keeps you connected 24/7. And Quo is the #1 business phone system that streamlines customer communications. It works right through an app on your phone or computer, so no more carrying 2 phones around or even relying on a landline. You're going to love how Quo lets your team share one number and collaborate on calls and texts, just like a shared inbox, so no customer gets left hanging. Go see why over 90,000 businesses trust Quo, formerly Open Phone. Get started for free and get 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/lockedoncollege. That is QUO.com/lockedoncollege. And if you've got existing phone numbers with another service, Quo will port them over at no extra charge. Quo, no missed calls, no missed customers. SEC squad rolling along here, guys. And I'll just put it out there. We got 3 games of top 15 teams. They are hosting unranked SEC teams. We got number 11 LSU's hosting South Carolina. We got number 12 Tennessee hosting Arkansas, and we got number 5 Texas A&M hosting Florida. Who of that group do you feel like is most on upset alert?
Tennessee.
I was gonna actually say the same, and I only say that because the 3rd Saturday in October is the next week. This is a very easy game.
Come on, John Neighbors.
Arkansas for.
John looks like
it is very easy to
John,
overlook.
be the voice of reason. Come in here. Come
I
on.
truly believe that Arkansas, because now they have fired their coach, this is the game where they bounce back and show up out of nowhere and play a really good, hard-fought game for their new head coach.
Well, the issue, Jay, is it's never been offensively. They've scored tons and tons of points. They have one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I mean, their issue's not offense. They're going to score points.
I think that's what it's going to be. I think it's going to end up being a shootout between the two, and that's where I'm not saying Tennessee's going to lose, but I think this one is going to be the one because, like I said, the 3rd Saturday in October is the next week, and that's an important game. And
remember, Jay, Tennessee lost this game last year and looked horrible.
Right.
I mean, looked pathetic.
That is
So
true.
There's a lot of holdover from that game, and Josh Heupel holds a grudge big
That gives
time.
me a
And
lot
so,
of
like, I think a lot of
pause
these players
and-
are like that too.
That gives me a lot of pause, and so does the fact that I don't really see Tennessee punting in this game. That's a slight problem for me as well.
Like, I don't
These
think
three,
y'all understand what the significance would be if Arkansas won this game. Like, everything gets turned upside down completely into a whole new direction because suddenly it's Bobby Petrino staying on as the permanent head coach for Arkansas. It's that type of game. And if that happens, then suddenly it makes it to where it's like, okay, well, do the board trustees, do the athletic director, do they even continue to search, or do they have to wait out? Does they have to win a few more games? But then it gets everybody back on board, and then Arkansas's got Texas A&M at home in the next week, and I'm sure that will go great. But the point is like that is the type of game that would literally turn everything upside down. It's already pretty chaotic over here. It would go to straight like clown shoes level if that happened.
Just like Tennessee saved Sam Pittman's job last year, right?
Yeah, that's right. Sam Pittman. Tennessee's really good at that. They're really good at dictating who Arkansas's coach is going to be for the next year. So
Hopefully not on Saturday.
So for that reason,
listen, I could sit here and say like, yeah, Arkansas can do this, that. I have no idea. I think the team will be better because it's hard to be much worse. And the defense is awful in every statistical category. It's dead last in the SEC, so they can't get much worse. But I don't know. It's either going to be where Arkansas wins this game or they get blown out. That's the only two things that happen. But I do not think they win this game. There's no reason to believe they win this game. I don't want to have hope in this game because I just can't handle that right now. So
These
What's
three
the line in
games. These three games.
13 and a half.
it opened at 13.5. It's dropped as low as 11.5 though.
These three games are a jumping off point to point out that at this point in the season, SEC teams are 46-7 cumulatively at home. I like all those home teams.
Tennessee
And
has
those
not
three in
lost
particular
to.
win.
Sorry to cut you off, Jim. Tennessee's not lost to anybody at home except for Georgia since 2021.
But just also let the record show that Arkansas
Kind of select.
has not lost the
Didn't they lose to Ole Miss
In 2021, I said since 2021.
Get 'em,
okay.
even.
Or I guess since 2022, better for the team. Yeah.
The record needs to reflect that Arkansas has not lost to Tennessee since 2007.
It's true.
Just saying.
I will say this. I'm a little bit intrigued by Florida at Kyle Field.
That's
I know
the
a
game I was
tough
going with,
place
John.
I know that's a tough place to play, but
tricky.
I know everybody's focused on Texas right now and what they did in Gainesville. But to me, did that not look a little bit like a different DJ Lagway? I'll tell you this, that front four, I know the offensive line for Texas left a lot to be desired, of course. That front four for Florida is legit. They got that freshman wide receiver back whose name
Dallas
escapes
Wilson.
Dallas,
Wilson.
thank you. Yeah, that kid, he's pretty talented. But seriously, there's something about that game. I know everybody has been looking askance at Florida all season. All of a sudden, I'm going, maybe I can kind of see a path.
I agree with. Okay, so Florida, even when Florida was looking horrendous and Lagway was throwing pick sixes and Napier, I mean, again, I still don't think he's going to be the head coach of Florida next year, but when the offense was a laughing stock prior to on Saturday, the defense was still there. The defense was still carrying that team as much as they could. The defense is good.
Yep.
You get a good run game. Jaden Ball had over 100 yards on the ground. You get Lagway to play like that, just don't turn the football over. I mean, Tennessee got to the CFP last year thanks to a good schedule, but also running the football and playing defense. I mean, Marcel Reed is not good. Sorry. Like, he's not very good. So, I'm not saying Florida wins this game, but, like, of the three, John, I'm with you, man. I'm looking at this Florida A&M game. That was the one that's intriguing me.
I think
What about
Marcel Reed threw the game winner at Notre Dame a few weeks ago, so he did do that. Now, at home, they struggled that 4 quarters against Auburn. And that Mississippi State score last week, wasn't it like 7-3 at halftime? They finally woke up in the second half and got going. But I don't know. I'm with you guys. I think Florida, the way they're playing right now, Billy Napier said last week that Lagway's finally healthy and he had his best week of practice. So if that's true, we should see some carryover here.
Yeah, they can't fall into the trap of DJ Lagway being the focal point of that team. It is Jaden Ball.
Yep.
That is the guy that needs to be the hoss on that team. Don't fall into the DJ Lagway trap again. Give the ball to Jaden Ball and play defense.
Could he have maybe got all of his spring training reps out of the way now and, like, he's feeling good? Like, maybe. I mean, he missed a lot of time. He's healthy.
Practice does matter. We're learning or practicing does matter. And if
I
you're
thought
not
he
out
looked
there
like a
practicing in the
different guy
spring-
this week. I really did.
Let me just
I think
add
it's
this.
Dallas,
He
though.
is 2023 Mr. Texas. He wanted to play badly against the Longhorns last year. He's getting to come back home to he's from Willis, Texas, just outside Houston, about an hour up the road is College Station. Lagway's going to want to, prove to A&M, hey, I picked Florida over you guys, and this is why.
Okay.
Oh, that's an interesting thing.
And Willis, Texas sounds like a fantastic place.
Yeah.
There's also some other storyline that Torian York played high school ball against him, and I think he's 2-0 or 3-0 against Lagway. So there's like a little rivalry there too between those two guys. So a little bit more spiciness. The other one we didn't really touch on, you guys, LSU against South Carolina. Big questions about LSU's offense. They needed the bye week. Brian Kelly said, if we get that bye week, Nussmeier get healthy. We better see a better Nussmeier this week, because if not, I think Lenore Sellers and South Carolina, they're in desperation mode. They need a win.
Listen, South Carolina can't stop the run. LSU can't run the football. Whichever team does the better job of doing that is going to win this game.
Yeah, I can see both quarterbacks throwing for a lot of yardage in that game. But again, broken record on it, but I just like the home team here. I like the home team in all the games except maybe Alabama at Missouri and Georgia at Auburn. But I think Alabama and Georgia both are on high upset alert, both of them.
I'm going to be a buzzkill here. I'm going to put on my best John impersonation here. I mean, in this game, just such a letdown, coming into the season. I mean, Lenore Sellers, Nussmeier, LSU returns all this production.
It's one of the best games in the league last year.
Yeah.
LSU at South Carolina was an awesome game.
I think this could be a great game on Saturday. Don't get me wrong, but it just feels like there's not a lot of hype going into it because both quarterbacks have been really Nussmeier, and I'm a huge Nussmeier guy. He's just looked not polished at all.
He looks still hurt. He looks like that abdomen is bothering him, in which, we had that same thing with Quinn last season when he had the abdomen issue, wasn't really able to complete passes very well from that, couldn't throw. You don't get your full motion when you have that abdomen issue, and it sounds like it's a lot worse than what they're trying to lead on because he does not look good. You're right. He doesn't look good at all.
Van Buren time?
They had the bye week. They said he's had a week plus of rest. So Nussmeier better look better. But yeah, if he doesn't, maybe they do start looking.
I don't know. I just feel like this is the battle of two of the top 7 unlikable coaches in the SEC, personally. And so I'm going to be fascinated from that. But I was just looking at South Carolina's schedule. It is pretty crazy. That, of course, LSU's ranked 11th, but then they have 6th Oklahoma, 8th Alabama, 4 Ole Miss, Texas A&M 5, all straight weeks. So
when people were picking them as a playoff team,
you like how Gordy made sure to bring up LSU at the end of the show. He always finds a way. It's crazy.
Well, I was going to save 60 seconds for Steven to talk about his big matchup against Washington State, but
just win the game. Just win the game by 1 point and get to the Georgia game. I mean, that's what this is. That you're already number 4 in the country. You don't need style points at this point. If you win every game, you're going to accomplish every goal that you want to accomplish. So just win the game against Washington State and move on to Georgia.
So as a recap, guys, Jimmy Stein says Bama has no chance against Mizzou. John Neighbors,
small chance,
rooting like hell for Arkansas to lose out, and Zach Blackerby is getting excited about what maybe Auburn's offense could be. So
if that's what you got out of what I said, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Maybe you just heard me because I
Gordon's the one who brought up eggplants. I don't know who's excited over here.
Listen, I'm rooting for Arkansas to win a lot because I'm the biggest Bobby Petrino fan. I've always been the big Bobby Petrino fan. And as I put up on Twitter, it's like your favorite movie that came out 14 years ago is coming out with a sequel. You know, it's not going to be as good, but it's still going to be fun to watch. And on top of all of that, too, I still don't know which is more shocking to see John Calipari as the head basketball coach here or Bobby Petrino having the head football coach here. But either way, it's going to end probably badly for Arkansas, but I'm here for it because it's going to be great for content no matter what.
I'm going to vote for Petrino on that one, but it's a great call. Both of them are pretty shocking, but Petrino, the head coach of Arkansas,
in the saddle, man.
It's absolutely unbelievable. I love it.
Just keep them off the motorcycle. Hey, guys, remember to follow and subscribe to your favorite SEC show. We'll be covering your favorite teams every day throughout the rest of the season. Don't forget, I'll have you covered with the entire conference every day on Locked On SEC, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, covering your team every day. We'll talk to you guys on our Sunday recap show.